So Joe Marler decided to get himself suspended again by basically elbow someone in the head. This is a long line of suspensions and yellow cards and red cards he's had and discipline problems on and off the field over the last 10 years since he debuted for Harlequins. He pled guilty and showed remorse, so he got a reduced ban by a week. He's going to miss 2 Test matches, autumn internationals for England, which poses Eddie Jones a few issues for selecting front row and front row depth. And he's got to look at other props now, which could be a blessing in disguise, a silver lining. But I can see parallels between Joe Marler and another ex-sportsman in a different sport called Sean Avery. And I was having this discussion on another channel about Sean Avery and how he made inappropriate comments about ex-players, current players, partners of players, officials, and how he not only kept getting into trouble and getting cited for offences and brought towards the Department of Player Safety and giving match bans here or warnings there for on-ice dirty hits. He also said some pretty outrageous things in the changing room and to reporters. And then after a while, team owners just refused to sign him to contracts, and coaches were just like, you cause too many disruptions within a group. No team wants to have you because you've offended someone on that team that you will have to be a teammate with, and they'll probably want to break your face. He's now released a book himself, which is salacious in the extreme, and I had some pretty interesting feedback, and I got to talk to some people on YouTube on the channel I posted a comment on, and some people were just like, accused me of having mental illness and all this other filth and crap, and I had an effing problem and I'm effing sick, and I was, hang on a second. I made a point that this guy is puke, which basically means he's vile on and off. He delivered a lot of cheap shots, and he made some very vile comments, and was misogynist, sexist, really. He's disgraceful attitude towards women, minorities, people's personal lives. He just doesn't care, and he hasn't really. He wishes he hasn't done one particular incident, but he has not apologised for any of the stuff he's done. Now, Joe Marler has been accused of racist comments before, calling Samson Lee a gypsy boy because of Samson Lee's traveller heritage, and he got fined and banned for that. He called I can't remember if it was a player or a referee on Twitter. So he has had outbursts on social media. And he has had a disciplinary record of punching and kicking. He's been done for kicking out at a player in the game. He's been done for punching and striking a player. He started a mass brawl, or been involved in a mass brawl at a game. He's now been done for elbowing. He's been yellow carded multiple times. He's been sent off a few times. So he's had a very lengthy disciplinary record. But I will say this: he's an aggressive player. He's a front row forward. You want to have aggressive scrummages. And he does play on the edge, and sometimes he does spill over. And I think he's more of a reactionary hothead. I don't think he actually intends to offend, insult, injure people. But there is a danger that the next offence he does will be far more serious. If he comes across a South African side or an Argentinian side that is up for a scrum battle, and they are famed for their strong scrummaging and their strong forward play. If he comes across a French side or an Italian side that are also famed for their strong forward packs and having a lot of needle in those forward packs and a few little grubby moments, he's gonna get himself in trouble. This is the issue. He's got to be very careful about when he is playing. If the opposition now know that he has a very short fuse, they're going to provoke him in doing something. Or saying something, and that's a big problem. He's exceptionally talented forward. He's brilliant. He's a scrum machine. He is a big ball carrier, and he's quite quick for a prop as well. He can actually move quite quickly. He can tackle and he can run. He's not as if like he's a prop of 20 years ago who was just a lump of meat used to support the scrum. This guy is a ball player. He's a skill player. He's very talented. If he was just built slightly differently, he could probably play as flanker, number 8, or centre if he had gone down that path at a younger age. He is, I think, that talented. However, his disciplinary record overshadows that. And I've made videos before about certain players recently retiring or carrying on in their sports, and certain players saying this is going to be their last season, and you look at, and I did my previous video on Gianluigi Buffon, the Juventus Italian goalkeeper, and what checkers his record is not like he's won everything. He's actually been stripped of a couple of Champions Leagues. No, it's not that. It's the match fixing scandal which caused him to lose some of his Champions League achievements. I think one Champions League, it got stripped. And he's one of the best goalkeepers in football, or soccer if you're American, has ever seen. Ever seen. And he has had championships taken away from him because the team he was part of cheated. Now, I'm not saying Joe Marler's that being involved in a match fixing scandal, but the black marks on his record overshadow his achievements. And Joe Marler is the same. Joe Marler has a lot of black marks on his record that overshadow his achievements in the game. And when he does retire, I think he might look back on some things he's done and go, what a muppet I was. What an idiot I was. And I'm not saying he is a bad person. I'm comparing him to Sean Avery, I think, was a bit harsh. But there are similarities in a lot of foul play, or foul play on in the field of battle, as I should call it, or during a game. And then comments, either during the game or away from the game, still involving sporting figures that are inappropriate. And attitudes that are inappropriate. And Eddie Jones has got to look at this, and whoever is the next Lions coach, because Gatlin says he won't do it again, so whoever is the Lions coach, and if he does get selected again to go on a Lions tour, they're going to have to look, club coach, internationals, they're going to have to look at, right, is this guy a right fit for our team and our dressing room? What is the culture we want to have? And this could affect him going forward. And as I said, if he comes across the wrong, well, is it the right team or the wrong team? I don't know. If he comes across in a European club match, for example, against an Italian or a French side, and they're known for having a lot of needle in their scrums and their forward packs, and a lot of underhand tactics, they're known for being rough and ready. Will he keep his cool? In a club match in the English Premier League, is he going to keep his lid on things? International arena, as I mentioned, the South Africans and the Argentinians, and the Italians and the French. And I would say even the Romanians, if it is a World Cup game, and the Georgians, for example, because they're up-and-coming nations and they're tier 2, but very likely to cross paths in a World Cup, for example. Is he likely to keep his cool in a very important test match at a World Cup? Because I don't think Eddie Jones wants to play with 14 men on the pitch, because it's highly likely that he could get a yellow card, get sent off. He has that temperament, and it overshadows what he's capable of. I haven't seen the incident that took place in the Harlequins Wasps game. I know it is a serious incident. It involves an elbow, though Harlequins claimed it was a forearm, but it looked like an elbow. I have not seen the incident, but from what I read on the BBC Sport website, there's an elbow involved. And there were several sightings from that game. There's also been Dylan Hartley getting cited and being found not guilty, but they've all gone for the RFU's day, and they've all had to have a sit down and a conversation with the governing body of the sport. And Joe Marler's fallen afoul of it. And they will look at your past history of offences. They will look at your disciplinary record, how many yellow cards you've had in a season, what the yellow cards were for. If it's for like repetitive, like killing the ball, offside, just this is a team penalty, you're the one taking it because you've been on the offence, they'll look at that. If there's a lot of things for like tip tackles, high tackles, elbows, gouging, etc., some really nasty offences can be in there, they will look at it and go, right, you've had previous, 2 games is enough, we'll give you 3. 3 games is enough, we'll give you 4. 4 is enough, we'll give you 6. And they will up it. And he'll get fined as well. He will get a cash fine. And he needs to start getting to a point where he doesn't commit these silly penalties, these silly fouls, and these inappropriate comments against officials and players, because he's 27. He's not like a 19-year-old up-and-comer wanting to make a name for himself. He's not like a 37-year-old. He doesn't really care because he's going to retire anyway. And I've seen a few of them put knee people in the head and elbows and stuff. So he's in the middle of his career. He's exceptionally talented, there is no doubt. And he's overshadowing his talent with severe foul play, constantly. And now it's going to affect his international teammates in the England setup and the Lions, because in a couple of years' time it'll be another Lions tour, and he could still be playing at a high enough level and being regularly selected for England and doing really well, when he's 30, 31. 31, and whoever takes on the next Lions tour will go, right, is this guy suitable? Is he going to keep his cool when we go to, I think it's South Africa next? And that's the issue they're going to have. Will he be able to control himself on the pitch? Because the South Africans will quite happily go, right, we're going to wind you up, and they've got some rather sizable units in their scrum, and that's going to be a bit of a punch up, and a bit of that's something that every coach got to take on board. Anyway, I've gone long enough. I'm not saying Joe Marler is intentionally going out there, but he lets his emotions get the better of him, and this is another one of his many bans. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets one or two more. He might start learning after this one or the next one. He might get in trouble again this season. I don't know. He might never get banned again. He might start having a good disciplinary record. But as a front row forward, they rarely do. At the coalface. So I think it's up for discussion what he could or couldn't do next, and we shall have to wait and see. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Please leave all your comments below, and if you have an opinion on Joe Marler, if you are a Harlequins fan and you think he's a legend, which he is a club cult figure because he's crazy haircuts, I'll give you that, and his style of play. If you're not, if you're, let's say, a London Irish fan or a Wasps fan, and you've fallen afoul of Mr. Marler in your time, please comment below. If you're a fan of any team in the English Premier League Rugby Premiership, please honestly give your opinions. I would rather have your opinions and your views on Joe Marler. And this particular instant, I wasn't at the game. I did not see the game. I haven't watched the full match replay. I will do later, but then I can see how bad this incident really is if it was actually caught live on camera. But if you were at the game, please leave your comments. If you did watch the game on BT Sport or Sky, please leave your comments, because I would like to know what your viewpoint is on the whole incident. And I will have another video for you soon. Thank you very much for watching.